how the
Okay, good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show for Friday, March 28th. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Why is your camera so far away from you?
I don't know.
Here, let's do it. Let's go even further away. See what that is.
Go
There we go.
Further away.
Okay, how's that? Hi, Mike.
Hey.
There you go. All right, we'll zoom your camera back in. Good morning and welcome, and thank you for joining us on the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. And it's Friday, and we're feeling fiery today.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
Yeah, it's been a good week. I've had a good week. Have you had a good week?
Yeah, I've had a good week.
Okay. I'm glad about that. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? Ooh, getting emails from pollinators. I like that.
Pollinators?
Bee people.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what are they saying?
Bzzz.
They're all a buzz?
They're all a buzz. Something about the hive mind or something like that.
The hive mind.
I pulled a story at some point, and I hope we get to go in depth on it. But have you seen, was it The Last of Us? Have you seen that movie?
No, I don't think so.
Let's see. The Last of Us. So it started out, I believe, as a video game. Yeah, it did. It's based on the video game franchise, The Last of Us. And it's described on Wikipedia as a post-apocalyptic drama series, and it was created for HBO, but it's based on the video game franchise. That it's set 20 years into a pandemic caused by a mass fungal infection, which causes its hosts to transform into zombie-like creatures, and it causes the collapse of society. So, there's a video game, The Last of Us.
Okay.
There's a series. I really liked it. It was really good. And let's see who was in it. Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal was in it, and I really like him. He's a fun actor. He's a fun actor. But anyway, there's a drug-resistant fungus. In reality,
Right, there are.
and it's causing some great concern now. Infection rates are rising for drug-resistant strain of a fungus that has been found in the hospital systems of at least 2 states. The Hill publication, it's a Washington, D.C. Capitol Hill publication, reports that the fungus Candida auris was first found in the United States back in 2016, and cases of infection have increased every year. And they say while it may not be a serious threat for healthy people, it's becoming more frequent, particularly in hospitals. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But, I mean, is this life imitating art or vice versa?
It's a great question. Bottom line is stay out of the hospital.
Well, and I can't remember if I talked to you about this, but I used to live next door to a young lady who worked for one of the I don't know if she worked for the hospitals or for a chemical company or something like that, but her job was going around to hospitals all around the United States and helping them understand how to clean up staph infection.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and because
It's a fun job.
Well, right?
Oh, it's the staff
Come
lady
on,
again.
guys, let's go into the dirty area.
Exactly. With the white thing.
I'll show you how to clean it up.
Right.
No, not like that. Because that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
You go into the hospital, you might come out with something that's worse than what you went in for.
Right,
You
definitely.
never want that.
No.
And so now you're thinking about, okay, well, I've seen The Last of Us. That didn't end well. And now we have a fungus that is drug resistant in hospitals, in the hospital system. And then I think about a friend of mine who used to be a traveling nurse,
Oh, yeah.
who he basically lived the life of Riley. He was a mountain climber, and so anytime he wanted to go climb a mountain, he found some temporary nursing gigs near the mountain, made some money, went and climbed the mountain.
Yep.
All right, we'll be back in a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning.
Networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
And saying a quick good morning to those of you who are making WSJM part of your morning routine. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. It's 7:05. It's Friday, March 28th, 2025. And we have a temperature outside right now of 47 degrees in Benton Harbor, 46 in St. Joseph. South Haven is reporting 45 degrees. In Dowagiac, it's 46 degrees. Don't have much rain in the radar right now, although I'm looking at St. Joseph, and they say there's a chance of light rain starting back up there within the next hour. We had a little bit overnight. You'll see wet roads out there, but nothing really too much to speak of, and certainly no storms as of yet that we've noted. But the forecast for today does call for mostly cloudy skies, a 60% chance of showers. Some isolated storms are also possible. A high today around 70 degrees.
Ooh.
High 70 degrees.
Hello.
Yeah, that's going to be nice.
Come on in.
South winds. The wind is going to bring the warm temperatures in, and it's going to do so in a very ferocious way because the gusts are supposed to get up to 40 miles per hour today. Again, still. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy, another chance of showers, a low around 58. So probably another evening where you can leave the window open just a little bit so you can hear the traffic and feel the nice breeze. Southwest winds still gusting this evening, 35 miles per hour. Saturday's forecast tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy, a 50% chance of showers. So you figure out what you're going to do outside. High around 66 degrees, south winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. And then Sunday, mostly cloudy and an 80% chance of showers and storms. So Mike, I know you've got yard work.
Yeah.
Sunday's not your day.
Okay.
If you
Good to know.
can't, if you can, put it off till Sunday.
There you go.
No, but mostly cloudy on Sunday, 80% chance of showers and storms in our area. Breezy conditions. The high on Sunday is going to be around 65 degrees, and the low is going to be around 50. As we turn the corner and then look into next week, it looks like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, we've got a chance of precipitation, pretty good chance. And then Tuesday might be the dry one. Yeah, I'm looking at it here. They don't have a chance of rain assigned to Tuesday yet, but we'll see.
And what day is Tuesday?
Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, is it April Fool's Day?
It is.
Oh, no.
Beware.
Oh, no.
If you have family or friends that are pranksters, beware.
Oh, do you have?
Yes, and I probably would be notated in that group.
Oh, as the prankster. Okay. We'll talk about that in a minute because now we have to keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
It is. It's Friday, and it's a glorious Friday, so let's get some news in. Now that Benton Harbor's schools superintendent has decided to step down, you didn't hear that? Yeah, we reported it yesterday, and the day before that. The school board is beginning the search for a replacement. Board President Deshauna Robinson tells us they're still developing a search strategy, and they plan to share more at their April 8th school board meeting. She says right now the board is prioritizing the completion of the current school year.
We have to make decisions as it relates to our financial budget, and we also have to begin conversations as to what the next superintendent of Benton Harbor area schools will be like, or who that person may be, and what the search process will potentially be like.
Trustee Elnora Gavin suggests the search for a new superintendent should begin within the community, looking for a qualified candidate who understands how the school district operates. Current superintendent Dr. Kelvin Butts has said he will remain in his position for the remainder of the school year and officially step down on June 30th. Berrien County has received bids for work near Silver Beach County Park in St. Joseph to help alleviate traffic congestion this summer. As we've reported, the plan is to add another entrance lane to the park, so there are fewer cars backed up and waiting to pay. Speaking at Thursday's regular meeting, Berrien County Commissioner Mamie Yarborough said the Finance Committee reviewed bids for that and also some sidewalk work.
We received 2 bids. The projected cost expected by the Parks Department was about $60,000. And the bids that came in one was $81,560. The other was $86,400.
And because the bids came in higher than expected, Yarborough said the sidewalk work will have to wait until later. She says that's a good thing because it gives planners more time to observe how pedestrians get around near the beach. County Administrator Brian Dessette said all of this shows the county is committed to working with the city of St. Joseph to help reduce traffic congestion.
More cars will be able to queue and go into the 2 lanes for payment. This aligns with everything that we've talked about as part of some of the Silver Beach traffic management efforts.
The cost to add the new feeder lane will be $41,950. Other plans between the city and the county include turning Broad Street below the bluff into a one-way street and removing some sidewalks and adding berms and other landscaping to keep people on designated sidewalks. Ongoing traffic issue at Silver Beach.
Ongoing. It's just tough being popular.
I have a question.
And that question is,
Why not just put an app in place where people can pay? Take out the parking fee house,
right?
and just have an app there where if you park, it is your responsibility to pay the fee. If you are found to not have paid the fee, you get a severe fine. Therefore, you have absolutely no stalling
Right.
going in or out of the park.
So we often we have a condo down in St. Pete Beach.
Yeah.
And St. Pete Beach.
St. Petersburg, Florida, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
Has just numbered parking spots.
Yeah.
You pull in your number. You can either do it on the app on your phone or go to the little kiosk.
Right.
And you pay.
Yeah.
And you can get a notification when your meter is up.
Yeah, and they already have that in St. Joe.
Right.
Anyway, I know it's a county park, but they already have that in St. Joe. Keep going.
No. And so that way, there's no, basically you incriminate yourself because you're parked in that spot and
Right.
your meter is up and they have little tokens underneath that basically know that there's somebody in that spot.
Right.
And they just have a car that drives by, has cameras on it.
Yeah.
Goes by, and when they know that you're there, they just, boom, send you a little notification you got a ticket.
So do you like the system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're basically, you just come and go as you want. You
Right.
pay, just
Yeah.
like everything else. You do it on your phone.
Yeah.
Boom. You don't have to.
And it gives you so many metrics on how many people are currently parked there, how many people have paid up,
Right.
how many violations did we have to write, and that kind of stuff.
Right. And you can know at some point, I'm sure getting enough data, you would know how much money you're making
Yeah.
on parking versus fines.
Right.
I mean,
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's
know.
going to be broken out. Yeah, I guess, and I know there are costs associated with that as well. And you mentioned the vehicle with the fancy cameras and stuff like that. That's going to be a huge cost.
yeah, but St. Joe already has one.
Well, yeah.
So,
Are you saying they should strike an agreement with the county to just make this happen?
yeah.
Eat up a little bit?
It's over. I mean, all they got to do is go number the parking
Well, wait a
spots.
sec. They could tear out the sidewalks and they can put in additional lanes and they can transfer traffic to go to a one-way instead of two-way.
They could do all kinds of stuff, or they could just get a paint can.
All right. Well, we'll give any side that wants to come in and talk about it.
Yeah.
More.
Come on in.
No. We'll be friendly. We are friendly.
Yeah.
We'll give any side from the city and the county.
Ace Hardware, donate paint.
The city and the county that want to come in and talk about it, because I do wonder about that. It's like just swallow it and go. Put the app in place.
Right.
All right. One more news
Ken
item.
and I are our own version of Doge. Inefficient.
Let's not go there.
Inefficient.
Let's not go there. All right, one more news story. Township leaders from around southern Berrien County are heaping praise on the Berrien County Road Department for the ongoing Red Arrow Highway work that's been happening. The department has for the past few years. You've noticed this. You know exactly where it starts and where it ends. They've been reconstructing the busy road around Chickaming and New Buffalo townships, and they have plans to get to work on the part of the road in Lake Township this year. The supervisors of all three townships addressed the Berrien County Board of Commissioners Thursday to say their residents have been pleased with how things are going. Chickaming Township's David Bunty said initial complaints from business owners eventually melted away.
Each and every one of those concerns were addressed by Kevin Stack in the road department. Each and every one of those concerns were backed up by data. As the final section of Red Arrow is being completed this spring, the naysayers have dwindled down to next to nothing in Chickaming Township and our region.
Bunty says everyone's now just excited to see the work finished and get that new linear trail along the side of the road. New Buffalo Township's Michelle Height had similar thoughts.
Buffalo Township greatly appreciates the partnership with the county on completing our portion of the trail.
Lake Township's Zach Carson said some initial concerns about this year's work between Bridgman and the Cook plant have been allayed after a meeting last fall at which the road department explained the project. He said there's no need for another town hall on it, as has been suggested. The road department's plan is to have the entirety of Red Arrow Highway in Berrien County back in good shape within the next few years. So good news
It's
over
a
there.
little like when you go down there and you're not used to it.
Yeah.
it's like what is going on? But once you get, I mean, it reframes that whole area down there in those little communities.
Yeah,
it's nice. I like it.
It's super nice, and I think the tourists probably appreciate it, and we appreciate the economy that the tourists bring for it.
Yes,
so,
we do.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Bring your dollars.
Yeah. Speaking of dollars, one more story. This one. This one, the concrete monument that is Mary's Fireproof Hotel. Did you know it was called that?
No.
Yeah, Mary's Fireproof Hotel in downtown Benton Harbor. That property is for sale again.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the House of David Hotel. That's what it's commonly known as. That has been under contract. It's been under contract by a hotel developer for the last 7 months. But in the end, it appears the deal fell apart over parking. Real estate broker Chris Siriano was a guest here on the WSJM Morning Show yesterday, and he says he's been trying to sell the property for the past 13 years.
Boy.
And he thought he finally had it sold.
And then what?
Because it was under contract. It was under contract. Hotel developer Mahesh Patel, he goes by Mike. Mahesh Patel had a vision for restoring the building, putting retail in the first floor, luxury hotel rooms above. But after 7 months of consulting with a whole number of architects, builders, environmental experts, and others, and his own partner, Patel's partner, Choice Hotels, he said the lack of connected parking was the deal breaker.
In the end, he wanted the sellers to give him the adjoining parking lot for free. And from day one, he knew that adjoining parking lot was extra money. And he didn't understand why, but he knew it.
Siriano says Patel even negotiated with the city to lease parking areas across the street from the hotel, and apparently Choice Hotels felt there was too much liability if somebody parked over there and their little rugrats were crossing the street and got hit by a car or something like that. Without the connected parking, Patel backed out of the deal, and the hotel will be back on the market for sale in April, and the last list price for that property was $554,000. Which, I mean, you look at the square footage of that thing, 44,000 square feet.
It's huge.
And the concrete amalgam that it's made out of, that thing's going to withstand anything.
Yeah.
It's going to withstand that fungus we're going to talk about here in a minute. But, it's disappointing because, you feel, at least I feel, like Benton Harbor, that downtown area is on the cusp of a resurgence.
It is.
Of a rebirth, of a phoenix rising from the ashes. And so you see it and you think, what are the great things that could happen here? You can imagine it. You've seen it in other communities.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about, well, parking, was that really what killed the deal? Because, you think about what happens in other metro areas. You've been to big cities where you go to a hotel, and if you happen to be driving your own car or rental car or something like that, hotel parking, if it has it, is usually, it costs an arm and a leg.
Right.
And if it doesn't have it, there's usually parking within a block and a half.
Right.
And you cart your stuff, or
you do a valet.
You drop it off, you valet, you do all kinds of fun stuff. So was that, should that really have been a deal killer? I mean, especially you think about the geography around that area. It's pretty open.
Right. Yeah, I would think you'd be able to find another spot.
Yeah. So anyway, disappointing, but back on the market. Let's hope somebody with great vision. Maybe we can form a committee to recruit some economic development in that area.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that hotel returned into something. We just need to bring somebody with some big pockets, because they were talking about putting about $8 to $10 million
Wow. Yeah,
into the inside. And Chris on the show yesterday said, this one young architect came by and said, why would you put money into this thing when you can just build a new, stick frame thing over there for nothing? Well, young lady.
Yeah.
Because we like history. All right. Anyway, okay, that's some of the news that we're following in the WSJM newsroom, plus our commentary with that. We've got more to talk about in a moment. We'll get on the video live stream. We'll keep talking about our fungus problem. And, you got to tune into the video live stream to figure out what I just said.
Yes.
That's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. Just type in WSJM on your social media platform of choice and find us there. It's 7:19.
If you feel like you missed out, you did.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
You will. We've got sports right now from Dave Wolf.
Major League Baseball opening day.
Yeah. And good morning on the video live stream. Let's see. We've got Bill out there. Alex is out there. Who's this Mike Wibble guy?
I don't know.
Okay. Mike Weibel says hello. I like how you engage with folks.
Well, they're watching us and they're saying good morning. It's rude.
And that's why I say I like how you engage with them. That's a positive thing. That's a compliment.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. You prankster. So you like the April Fool's jokes?
No.
Oh, you like executing them?
Well, I'm not an April Fool's joke person, but on occasion I've been known to mess with people.
Okay. Give us some detail. What have you done? Anything notable? Anything that caused you to end up in court?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Never that.
That's too bad.
But I had a good friend growing up. I was just out of high school, and his dad was always pulling the garage. I knew his dad. Dad was a great guy. So he's passed away now, but you know, when you walk in, when you get used to putting your key in the door and unlocking the door, you're always used to the key either being up or down.
Yeah.
And so you just get used to coming in.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's like, I'm going to do this and going to do that. And
right. So every 2 weeks, I would change the lock to one side or the other. So he started coming in the house and he's like, "What's going on with the door?" And everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "It's like it's upside down." No, it's nobody's changed it. So he thinks it's himself. And
oh no!
And then he was an electric razor guy.
Yeah.
So took baking powder and put it in his electric razor. And so 2 weeks later, he was buying shampoo for dandruff because he thought he had dandruff.
That's real rude. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. So you are kind of a prankster.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of a prankster. Is your wife okay with this? Have you executed any pranks on her?
No. That would.
Why not?
That little woman would get even.
She knows where you sleep.
Exactly.
All right. I'm trying to think. I don't know that I've ever really done anything.
One of the guys in the office always warms up his vehicle before he gets in, or cools it off, one or the other.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of his routine to go out there and do that. So we knew what time he normally leaves.
Okay.
He had his keys on his desk because he had just restarted it.
Yeah.
So I went into his office, asked him a question, and unlocked his door. And another one of the guys went out and climbed in the back seat.
Oh no!
Then I went back.
See, this is one of the things that could end you up in court or the hospital.
So I went in and unlocked it, or locked it back up again.
Yeah.
And then when he walked out the door, we all stood in the window and watched. And he goes out there and opens up the door and climbs in, and the guy from behind reaches up and grabs him, and you see his hands jump up. He jumps out, tells the guy, "Get out!" Yeah, it was good stuff.
Hospital visit. That's funny. That's funny. I don't think this was executed on April Fool's Day. The only thing I can share that might be similar was there was a press radio TV gallery where a lot of us shared the equipment in the gallery. Okay. This is in the Capitol. We shared the equipment in the gallery to write news stories and file news stories and that kind of thing. And this was back when I honestly was the only guy with a laptop, and my laptop was probably like 40 pounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Crazy heavy laptop.
Wheels, yeah.
And it had, the lift up, I don't know. Anyway. And so, most of the people were on typewriters, and somebody in the gallery would always complain how their correctotype would just end up missing. And so I was sitting in there working on my laptop one day, and I noticed this one person was stealing the other person's correctotype for their typewriter and putting it in their thing. So one day when no one else was in the gallery, I took super glue and I glued her correctotype into her typewriter. so you couldn't, and boy, I was in there when she tried to get it out. ranking on it. She never said a word. And I never let on because she was so angry.
Right.
that happened. So anyway, fun stuff like that. Yeah. See, technology takes away the fun stuff like that. All right. Uh-oh.
See the new bracket update?
No. Oh, hang on. We'll get that on the air in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Easy. Tonight, a few scattered showers. We stay at 58. And off and on, a few rain showers on Saturday. High temperatures around 65. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
I call foul.
Is it a shooting foul?
No.
I guess not. It's no points
It's
for
a
you.
technical. It's a technical. It's 7:24. Good morning. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Friday, March 28th. I'm Ken Lundberg, and with me is Mike Weibel this morning. And we just received an update from Brett Witkowski about our brackets.
Yep.
Our brackets. So let's see. We don't have one. We don't have an update for the women's yet. They probably didn't play. Did they play? I don't know. But the men's update, we do have a men's update. Would you care to talk about who's doing the best?
Yeah, I would really like to hear.
No. You go ahead.
Well, there was. Let me give you the bottom to top. Brett is 39.
You got to be on microphone though.
39 points
There
for
you go.
Brett Witkowski. Sean is at 41 points, which is where I was. I was in third place.
Okay.
I'm not there anymore. And then Ken, who was number one,
That's
now
me.
is 42 points.
Oh.
And Weibel is at 47 points. So Weibel is the new leader by 5 points.
I mean, what did they play? Like 1 or 2 games yesterday or something like that? Enjoy it while you
They
can.
were big games.
This is my guidance to you. Enjoy it while you can.
Okay.
No, so that's very good. Thank you, Brett, for the update on that.
Thank you, Brett.
And we're sorry, Brett, that you're still in last place.
Exactly.
And
he's the one controlling the brackets. He's got to.
Yeah, he pushed it on us. He's like, you guys got to do this. You guys got to do that. And
It's probably the last year he's going to do that.
So there's that. Let's see. What else do we have? We've got. Brett also says I'm so much louder than Mike. And look, we're at the same level, so you got to stay on microphone. Did you forget?
No.
All right, get your lips off the microphone. Speaking of Brett Witkowski, by the way, he's part of the Coaches Show. He and Phil McDonald every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 have a great time talking about sports, bringing in guests, coaches from the area, and let's see. So he gave me a preview of what they're doing this weekend. So tomorrow from 8 to 9 o'clock, Fred Smith, who's on the MHSAA Council, will be there. They're talking about basketball, the public versus private transfer rule. So they're talking about 5 classes for that, which I guess that means something to somebody in the MHSAA thing. And then 9 o'clock to 9:30, they'll be talking about wrestling. Let's see. And then, is that St. Joe? Is that St. Joe, Brett? Wrestling? Okay. So we'll talk about that. And then before the show is wrapped up, they'll be talking with Benton Harbor's new football coach, who is also the public safety director for Benton Harbor, Dan McGinnis.
Very cool.
Which is really cool. I'm really excited about that. And he's been involved in area athletics for a very long time. And he's been helping out over at St. Joseph. And so seeing him come back to Benton Harbor to help with that program, as they've had participation challenges, among other things, and they went 0-9 last season, that's a great thing, I think, for the team. That'll be great.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. So, okay. Good morning and welcome back to the show. We've got more to talk about here. Do you want to gloat any more on your men's basketball bracket? Do you have any predictions?
Do I have any predictions
on what you're going to end up as? When we meet again on Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
Really? You think on Monday you're still going to be on top?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Remember that.
I've got it.
Okay. Let's see.
See, when I was below, and I said when I was in the number 4 spot, I was just warming up.
Oh.
Well, now the train is on the track.
Weirdo. All right. Let's see. This one caught my eye. So we've been talking a little bit about what's been happening in Washington, D.C., and the United States Senate taking some action in relation to overdraft fees. You accidentally write a bad check, and you overdraft your account,
right?
And if you don't have automatic, fill the account back up system set up, the bank's going to charge you an overdraft fee,
right?
So it's kind of insult on injury. But the United States Senate voted yesterday, 52-48. So pretty split there, to overturn a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau rule that capped overdraft fees that banks can charge. The resolution under the Congressional Review Act now heads to the House of Representatives, where the Financial Services Committee has already approved a companion bill earlier this month. And both of these bills invalidate regulations and preclude future administrations from introducing substantially similar proposals. The Biden administration finalized the overdraft rule, part of its campaign against so-called junk fees, in December. That they basically, said, banks, you got to limit these overdraft fees. You can't just keep charging, the sky's the limit. You got to keep this at a reasonable thing. And now the Senate has overturned that. They say President Biden's politically motivated junk fee conversation was not about helping consumers. That's what Senate Banking Committee Chair Tim Scott said on the Senate floor earlier this week. He said it was about trying to change the conversation away from the devastation that inflation was bringing to the kitchen table after kitchen table all across America. Overturning the Biden's overdraft fee structure, he says, will be good for consumers. And what are they talking about there? Hidden fees or something like that? The banks have to charge others who don't overdraft?
Yeah, and well, there's parts of that, some of the banks will, the way they roll up your fees. So, you're right, you overdraft, fine. Yeah. But how they calculate your overdraft, like I used to work for a local banking institution.
Okay.
And one of the things that they would do is they would take all your debits or your checks, run those through first. Even when you had a deposit coming in, they would run that at the end of the day.
So, wait, what?
Yeah. So if
that doesn't seem fair.
So if you
take them as they go, first in line,
exactly.
First in, first out.
And the thing is if you know someone's getting paid on Friday,
right?
You could see it.
Yeah.
You know they're getting paid on Friday, and their check comes in that day, and things are tight for them. All of a sudden, they could end up with $50, $60 of overdraft fees.
Yeah.
Because all your $2 Apple cloud storage hit, and now you got charged $15 on top of it. So all those things would hit, even though you had a compensating deposit coming in that day. But how they calibrated it would, and I thought that was extremely unfair.
Yeah, yeah.
So how they figure out the fees, I think, is what needs to be looked at. I mean, the other part of it is if you are in a banking institution and you're overdrafting your account and they've told you there's an overdraft fee, you knew the consequences.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I do see both sides of that argument because on the one hand, if you're putting money out there that isn't in your account, but you say it's going to be it'll come by the end of the day. Right. Well, in some cases, it may not.
Right.
What if the pending deposit falls short?
Right.
Then you got an issue there. Under the rule crafted by former Consumer Financial Protection Bureau Director Rohit Chopra, banks and credit unions with more than $10 billion in assets would have three options when a consumer overdraws their account. They could charge $5, charge a fee that covers no more than the costs or losses, or disclose the terms of a profit-generating overdraft loan as they would with other loans. Senator Josh Hawley was the lone Republican to vote against overturning the protection, saying the regulation would save the average working-class household something like $265 a year. He says, I don't want to give big banks the ability to charge people outrageous sums of money. Under this, they can charge whatever their expenses are on an overdraft, and if that's more than $5 per overdraft, they're allowed to charge that, but they're not allowed to charge anything more. Banks currently charge an average of $35 to extend overdraft services. The CFPB estimated the rule would save consumers about $5 billion in fees per year. So I'm sure we'll hear more about that, but it's been passed by the Senate, and now it's headed over to the House. So hopefully somewhere in there's some compassion in the interpretation of if that becomes law.
Yes.
Yes. All right. 7:33. It's the WSJM Morning Show, Friday, March 28th. Thank you for joining us. We're on the video live stream. We're going to continue chattering over there. But right now we've got to get a couple of messages in, and then our Bloomberg Financial Market Minute, plus ABC News, plus our local news, plus the state news from Michigan News Network, plus our local sports. Hey, why don't we call this a show like the WSJM Morning Show?
So, you want a free checking?
Overdraft fees. Yeah, I do you remember the good old days when you used to have a passbook and they'd write down?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, Kenny put in $5 into his birthday account.
Right, yeah.
Oh, looks like you overdrafted by about $8. You going to come in and give us some more money? Yeah, okay, we'll cover this. Wow. They don't do that anymore.
No, they do not.
No.
So my one banking story from my youth.
Does this have to do with an April Fool's joke?
No, it does not. But could, though, actually. So I had several checks that I had written, or I had written, that I had received, and I was going to go deposit them in my bank. This bank is no longer in the area. It's been acquired by another bank. So
Okay.
But I went to the drive-through, handed my checks, wanted cash back for them, got my cash envelope, and I was on my way to South Bend to buy some speakers for my stereo.
Good. I like that.
So I jump in I'm in the passenger seat of the car. I open up the envelope. We get halfway through Stevensville, and I realize the envelope is really thick.
Oh.
So I was supposed to get $95 back.
Yeah.
I got $950.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I turned around. We got to go back.
Yeah.
So I turned around, went inside because I didn't want to get anybody in trouble.
Right.
And went through the drive-through, asked for the teller, said, "Hey, I need to speak to you." She was like, "I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. You need to come talk to the manager." And I was like, "Well, I just have a question. You need to come inside." So I go inside, walk up to the thing. I said, "Look, I was given too much money." Explained it. All of a sudden, the manager comes out, and he's like, "What's the problem?" I'm like, "Oh, I was just given too much money. I just didn't want anybody to get in trouble. I'm just bringing this money back." So he's like, "Well, we would have caught it anyhow." And I was like, "Well, that's fine because I wasn't taking it.
I'm here.
I'm just here bringing it back." And so he counted it back, gave me my portion of the money back. And he was like, "Well, have a great day." And I was like, what a tool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was trying to here I am, a 16, 17-year-old kid trying to do the right thing. And he made it sound like I was trying to steal from them when, yeah. So it was a very disappointing experience.
That is, and it stuck with you this long.
It is. It was Farmers and Merchant Bank.
Oh, okay. So let that be a lesson if you're in customer service.
Right.
Go in with a positive attitude.
Well,
and say thank you.
Right. When somebody's trying to do good,
Yeah.
even though it might make your institution look bad.
Right.
Just little humble pie is good.
Yeah. Wow. So I don't understand why couldn't you talk to the person from the drive-through thing?
I guess I don't know if they thought I was making a complaint or whatever, but they were not going.
They were
to let
not
me.
having any of it.
No, couldn't talk to her
Because you were a punk. You were like 17 years old and
Right.
you were angry.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably had like no sleeves on your shirt. You had ripped them off.
Yeah, all my
Your Pokemon cards were rolled up in your slurry.
yeah, my tattoos with all the barbed wire on them, and
Yeah, how'd you get rid of those face tats, by the way?
it was a long process with a grinder.
Oh, gosh. No. Do not try that anywhere, at home or anywhere else.
So I have a friend of mine who is a a deputy sheriff in Lakeland, Florida.
Yeah, speaking of face tats.
Yeah. So his thing is these people who like to weekend motorcycle
Right.
will get tattoos that are motorcycle tattoos,
Okay.
not realizing that they're motorcycle gang tattoos.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So there was a couple out there like with a tire with the wings on it that was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. And some of those were like
They used to be like brands, like Dunlop and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Well, they've been adopted by different. and he
Like
says-
Hell's Angels and
Right.
stuff. Okay.
So they would go in, you have these guys, they roll up in their chaps and their Harleys. They would go into these biker bars and there's gang members in there
no.
and they see the and they're like, "Hey, you got a tattoo?" "Yeah." "Oh, are you an outlaw? Are you a Hell's Angel?" Whatever. "Oh, no, I'm not."
Hold that thought. We've got to get back on the show here. Hang on 1 second. I'm sorry to do that to you, but we've got the clock thing
It's fine.
happening right now.
but the ad is
WSJM
the
Morning
best.
Show.
Here for sports like golf. It's also been trying to adapt to shoppers that prefer looser styles. Management said President Trump's tariffs on China and Mexico will weigh slightly on margins. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
I don't want to hear the end of that story because I've seen Sons of Anarchy. I know how it goes when a motorcycle gang wants your tattoo off.
Yeah. They get it off.
All right. So just to set the stage here, this is some of the exclusive content that you could potentially be missing.
You're missing.
That you are missing if you're not tuned into the video live stream. By the way, hello to everyone on the video live stream. Diane, we love everyone who's on the video live stream. Good morning, John, as well, and Bill and Alex and all others. And so Mike was telling us a little bit about people who do the weekend motorcycle thing.
Yeah.
Like I do sometimes.
Yeah.
But they get the tattoos to show off.
Right.
And sometimes they get tattoos that match what the bikers have. Like the bike gangs.
The real. Yeah. And so the bikers will help remove it.
Well, and so your friend went into a bar or something. What happened?
No, he's a police officer.
Oh,
He said,
police officer.
Yeah, many times these situations will happen where somebody walks into a bar, they've got some tattoo that they thought was motorcycle cool.
Yeah.
And not realizing it's a gang insignia.
Right.
And the gang members will ask them, hey, can we see that? Let's step outside.
Oh, no.
And they'll either remove it with a knife or with a grinder, but they'll make sure it's removed.
So if you didn't earn your ink with initiation or whatever, they say you can't wear it.
So then you get called and some guy's got a big gouge out of his arm and you're like, you got a tattoo, didn't you?
And these are the things parents deal with.
Yes, it is.
All right, 7:40, it's the WSJM Morning Show, and I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. We're going to continue talking about some fun stuff and, some not-so-fun stuff as well. Macy's releasing a list of some of the stores that are closing around the United States, including 4 in Michigan. Macy's, yeah. So, because we learned earlier this year about the closures that were coming, well, now we've got the list. So we'll talk a little bit about that and more. It's all coming up right here on the morning show. We've got a preview of our local news coming up in just a moment, state news from Michigan News Network, and local sports right after this from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. There was no invitation, but Vice President and Second Lady are visiting anyway. JD and Usha Vance headed to Greenland as President Trump says the U.S. needs to control the mineral-rich territory. A strong earthquake in Southeast Asia.
Really like moving like I was in a boat, and it was shocking.
Journalist Marissa Abel telling ABC News she had just arrived on vacation in Bangkok and was napping in her room on the 15th floor when the 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit the epicenter in Myanmar. More high winds in North Carolina where wildfires have been consuming forests.
The Table Rock fire is 0% contained right now, but officials tell me some of the containment lines appear to be holding, especially in those critical areas where there are many homes and lives on the line.
ABC's Faith Abube in Asheville. King Charles has been seen in public for the first time since he was hospitalized briefly for the side effects of cancer treatment. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
48 degrees in Benton Harbor right now, 46 in St. Joseph, 46 degrees in South Haven. Some rain expectations for the next hour in our area, so do be aware of that. Some of the news items that we're following in the WSJM newsroom today that we'll be telling you about at 8 o'clock. Benton Charter Township Police report an arrest was made yesterday in the case of a shooting that happened locally on St. Patrick's Day. The arrest stems from an incident on last Monday, March 17th, when just before 1 in the afternoon, Benton Township Police were called to Corewell Health Lakeland on reports of a gunshot wound victim receiving care at the facility. We'll tell you more about that story. That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Also, Hager Township officials are putting the brakes on large-scale solar and wind farm installations. They got wind, so to speak, of someone looking at 90 acres of land in Hager Township for the possibility of putting in some solar panels. And they said, well, wait a second, we don't like that in our town, or our township, that is. So we probably should put something into our township rules that says what is compatible with our area and what isn't. So they've put a 1-year moratorium now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a broker was in the area looking at land saying, this would be good for a solar farm. Yeah.
You know what I'm concerned with that is what happens when the solar farm becomes defunct.
That's a huge concern of a lot of the folks is this a fly-by-night company? Are they going to maintain it? Is it going to be a good neighbor? People worry about the lithium.
Go bankrupt, whatever, and then all of a sudden you got this field full of these panels
that now you got to get rid of.
Right, it's more expensive to remove than to,
Other news that we're following, the city of South Haven is working with the Van Buren Cass District Health Department and the Michigan DNR to try to figure out what is the cause of the large-scale bird die-off that happened in the past week. As we reported here on WSJM, they found hundreds of dead bird carcasses on the beaches in some South Haven areas. So we'll talk a little bit about that. No, not fun at all. Not for the birds especially. We'll talk about that and more coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. All right, it's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Mike Weibel is here with me as well. We'll continue on the video live stream, some more chit-chat, but we have sports coming up next from Dave Wolf after a look at state news.
The Michigan News.
Yeah, the whole tattoo thing where if you're wearing the wrong tattoo, you get in big trouble with bike gangs. Yeah, that could be a problem.
Right.
That could be a problem. Maybe don't go to the biker bars if you're...
Probably a good suggestion.
Yeah. The other thing to think about is...
remember that movie with the Del Fuegos?
No.
The one with, the
Keep
tool
going.
guy, the tool guy.
Tim Taylor?
Tim Taylor.
Yeah.
And it's all these midlifers, and they all decide to go on this biker trip, and they end up in this biker bar, and the Del Fuegos were the bikers that they ended up going to battle with, and it's a good.
Was that Star Wars?
No.
Okay. Spaceballs?
Close.
Okay.
Sort of that same genre.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
A little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
More midlife.
7:45 is the time. It's the WSJM morning show.
No Spicoli.
Video live stream. I love that movie.
I do too.
That's so funny. Speaking of tattoos, did you see this? Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth facing new criticism after new photos showing a new tattoo on his arm.
Oh,
he's very tattooed.
Yeah,
you've seen him.
He's military though. That's not
Former
uncommon.
military, current U.S. Defense Secretary. New photos taken during a training exercise. He's out at Pearl Harbor, and he's I don't know if he's doing jumping jacks or push-ups or whatever, but afterwards he kind of gets up and does this, and you can see his full forearms. Well, I guess some of our brethren in the journalistic vein noted a new tattoo on one of the forearms. It shows an Arabic word on his arm. Photos show that Hegseth has the word kafir tattooed in Arabic below his right bicep. The phrase is used in the Quran to refer to someone who has disbelief or rejection of true belief, according to the Islamic, one of the Islamic scholars that they contacted for this story. The phrase appears alongside another tattoo reading Deus Volt, a phrase attributed as a rallying cry of the First Crusade. And he was doing what do you call it when you do the
burpees?
Yeah, burpees, exactly. He was doing the burpees. Anyway, so Hegseth's tattoo is drawing criticism for what some say is a sign of hostility against Muslims. It appears Islam lives so rent-free in Pete Hegseth's head. This is somebody who doesn't like the tattoo at all.
Right.
It appears Islam lives so rent-free in Pete Hegseth's head that he feels the need to stamp himself with tattoos declaring his opposition to Islam alongside a tattoo declaring his affinity for the failed Crusaders who committed genocidal acts of violence against Jews, Muslims, and even fellow Christians centuries ago. That's Nihad Awad, National Executive Director of the Council on American Islamic Relations. But yeah, so I mean, the tattoo is in Arabic. It does basically mean, I don't know if it means infidel, but it does mean non-believer. And he's got it tattooed right there on his thing. So I guess he's sending a statement.
Could be.
Anyway.
Has he commented on it yet?
He denied, let's see. No, because it comes at the same time as he's talking about the signal.
Oh.
The text messaging. So, yeah. Maybe they're hoping that that takes away from the attention from that. Let's see. Yeah, so a couple other things that are a little bit disturbing about that, but anyway. So, but I looked at a picture of the tattoo, and it is in Arabic. And my wonder for anyone who gets a tattoo that's in a foreign language, unless you know that language,
right.
What does it actually say?
Right.
Maybe you want it to say peace, and it says something else.
Well, that's kind of like the standing joke, isn't it? When people would go and get the Chinese characters or whatever,
right?
And somebody would be like, "What does that mean?" Oh, it means respect, and they're like, "No, that's not what."
No, it means pig head.
Right? Exactly. Or it's Chinese for douchebag. Whatever.
Oh no. Yeah. So fun stuff. Let's see. Macy's. We've got that story. Macy's in January named 66 of the 150 stores that it's planning to close as part of its revitalization plan. Some stores on the list appear to be closing already or closing soon. The retailer announced in February of last year plans to shut down 150 unproductive Macy's stores by 2026. And now we've got the list of which ones are going to be closing in Michigan. One is the Grand Traverse Mall. One's going to be at the Lakeside Mall. One's at the Oakland Mall. And the last one is at the Genesee Valley Center, which is probably also a mall. I've never been to any of those. You?
No.
So if you were planning on going to Macy's in any of those areas,
You better hurry.
yeah. Unless they're already closed. We don't know. Do you want to do your list here in a moment?
Certainly.
Talk about St. Joseph?
Yeah.
Okay. Describe the list.
It is historical things that happened in St. Joseph in the month of March.
Okay. So we're gonna look at, because we're almost out of March.
Right.
I'm glad you found this. Where did you get this? Cite your source.
Cite my source. This is just on Google search.
Google doesn't do any original content stuff. There must be an original.
Well, it's AI overview. So AI puts together all this information.
Okay, we'll have to give a disclaimer then.
Okay. I mean, if somebody wants to go on and challenge me
Yes.
at 7:00, bring it.
8:00.
There. Well, no, for Monday.
Oh, for Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else. I did want to talk about the vice president's visit to Greenland.
Oh yeah, that didn't go well.
Well, yeah, it's going right.
Well, his wife, they
uninvited her from the
areas.
dog sled thing.
Right.
Yeah. Which they were going to have her do some stuff, introduce the dog sled thing and help start it off and everything. She was going to visit some local residents, but then all the plans changed once the vice president came along.
Right.
And I think I would blame him if I were her.
Well,
all right. More in a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Mostly cloudy with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms to start today. We'll clear out and see some sun this afternoon. High temperatures are right around 70 degrees, maybe staying in the 60s along the lakeshore. It will be quite breezy. Tonight, a few scattered showers. We stay at 58. And off and on, a few rain showers on Saturday. High temperatures around 65. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:51 WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg, and happy to have Mike Weibel joining me here for another fine Friday. Hoping you have a great weekend planned. Mike has plans to clean up his yard. It's about time. Your neighbors have been calling me saying, "Hey, give him crap about that."
Why? Witkowski's supposed to come help me.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He's bringing Van Buren County.
Is he
Road
charging
Commission.
you?
No. It's our bracket bet.
One of my sons is going to be home from college for spring break. Stuart is going to be. So hello, Stuart. And if you're,
Hey to Stuart.
hopefully he's awake by now. He's probably not. He's a big fan of the show. He watches on the video live stream a lot. But he drove back like overnight.
Oh, he's probably out.
Which, to my consternation, like, why are you driving overnight? I've seen you drive. You can't drive during the day.
I've seen you drive.
The Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. He's going to watch this and he's going to go, Dad.
Right. Why?
Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And we posted the Southwest Michigan housing market conditions. According to the Southwestern Michigan Association of Realtors, the markets locally slipped a little bit in February. It
was icy, though.
It was icy, exactly. There was some snow. The group also reports the average selling price for houses in February dropped 1.5% from January. So in January it was $416,000 and change, and it slipped down in February to $410,000 on average. They say the year started with an elevated inventory, and in February the inventory actually increased 18% from year over year, February of 2024. Luke Jeffries, Association Executive for Southwestern Michigan Association of Realtors, said in February of 2025, this year, last month, the market ended with an inventory of about 699 houses for sale, up from 590 in February of last year. Home buyers in Allegan, Berrien, Cass, and the westerly two-thirds of Van Buren counties are facing a 4.2-month supply of homes. That's up slightly from the 3.7-month supply level in February of 2024. And further, month-over-month information reported by Southwestern Michigan Association of Realtors says the Freddie Mac mortgage rate in January was 6.76%, down from the January rate of 6.95 and down from the 6.94 rate in February of 2024 for a 30-year conventional mortgage. There's a whole lot of more information there. We've posted it. It's at moodyonthemarket.com. So if you're in the housing industry, if you're in the housing market, if you want to know what's going on in Southwest Michigan as far as real estate, check it out. It's posted right now at moodyonthemarket.com. Your Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. In just a moment, we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about this month in history for St. Joseph. Mike found a list. Could be AI generated. We don't know.
It's legit.
It's legit, and we're going to talk about it in just a moment right here on WSJM.
My name is Tammy Gould. I'm the executive director.
Somebody was mentioning on one of the reports I was listening to this morning that there's a modeling, maybe it's a clothing company, and they use models, and they are now adopting AI to make twins of the models, all the way down to like birthmarks and movements and stuff like that, so that they can use them in creative ways while doing it with agreement from the models and compensating the models for using the AI version of them.
Yes.
I don't think that will last long. Because it seems like especially if you're a modeling agency, why would you keep paying out money to models which honestly, you've got a whole lot who are probably willing to get in the industry, even if just to make an AI model,
right?
Give you a one-time fee and out,
right? Get a royalty off of your image.
Yeah. So I think this spells potentially the end. Well, I'll tender that, put an asterisk by that. Potentially spells the end to original content using real models.
Yes, I would agree.
And the asterisk I put in there is because I don't know about you, but especially when I'm on social media now and I start to see something in my feed that is clearly AI generated because it's a perfect picture,
right,
of like a gerbil in a field of daisies trouncing around and having a great time. It's like, I don't want to see that. I don't care about that.
Right.
Why? There's something about the AI generated images. Maybe it's just in my mind because I know they're AI that I just don't appreciate.
Yeah. Well, and I think too that there's that whole part of the manipulation and the packaging of things, and it's not realistic. So it's it's
a fraud, and I don't want to see it.
Right. I agree.
Okay. Good. But I think if April Fools were on a Monday, we would do our show as AI the whole day. Maybe we'll do that anyway.
That'll be fun.
We just won't tell the people on the video live stream.
There is a
hang on.
Clock.
Hang on.
St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Okay, we've got a couple of minutes here. If we have to, we'll continue talking about this next hour, but lay it on us. Month of March, historical things that happened in St. Joseph. Go.
Okay, number one, which is something I did not know until recently, and that was on March 7th, 1834, St. Joseph was incorporated and changed its name from Newburyport to St. Joseph.
Newburyport. Rolls right off the tongue.
Right.
Okay.
Very easy to
What
say.
else?
Not. March 7th, 1834, the village of Newburyport, later renamed St. Joseph. That's another note to what I just said.
Okay.
And then March 1680, LaSalle and Crevier and his men left Fort Miami to explore the interior of Michigan. Fort Miami was here in St. Joe. March 14th, 1865, Brunson Harbor became Benton Harbor.
Brunson Harbor.
Brunson.
Huh.
I had no idea that there was
were
ever...
the Brunsons and the Bentons feuding, and that's why
and
Benton won.
Yeah, so there.
Give us we have time for one more.
March 21st, 1891, Eau Claire was incorporated as a village.
Did the original founders say this is This is Eau Claire.
Yeah,
And the
Eau
local said, Claire.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll call it Eau
And
Claire.
then the last one, March 31st, 1976, turning right on red was made legal.
When? 1976?
1976, March 31st.
So you couldn't turn right on red before that legally?
No.
Whoa. What about can you go left on red if it's a one-way to a one-way?
I would say no.
I think I would disagree. I think we can. Well, let's look that up. Research.
Too many lefts do not make it right.
All right. It's the WSJM Morning Show. That does it for our video live stream. We've got news now from ABC. Our local news is next. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Sleep